One of the most common comments that I see in regards to Setsuna is a connection based on her name. And I'm here to tell you that while you all could definitely be right, I have a theory and you are all definitely wrong. Or I could be wrong, I don't know man, I'm not the writer of the show. Either way, if you are excited for more Yashahime content and theories, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for a new video every single day. You can also support the channel by donating on Patreon to help on this journey of creating a new video each day. Our first Yokai tier patron being Lucifina Akuma, and our first Dai Yokai tier patron, Miasma. You both rock. Thank you so much. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. So obviously Setsuna's name is, well, Setsuna, and here are the two main theories around her name. Firstly, as Sesshomaru is essentially unaging and Setsuna's mother, who is likely Rin, is not, the name might be based on that relationship, with Setsuna meaning an instant and her sister Toa's name meaning eternity. And this is a super cool naming scheme to think about, and also just a little sad as well. This is a theory I absolutely have no issue with, and I think it's probably correct, to be honest. However, I want you to keep the meaning of Setsuna's name in mind throughout this video, a moment or an instant. The second theory revolves around the third movie, in which we are introduced to Takemaru no Setsuna. People have jumped to the fact that both of them have Setsuna in their names, so let's take a look at Takemaru a little bit. Takemaru was a jealous samurai who was in love with Izayoi, Inuyasha's mother, and this jealousy grew to a point that he ended up killing her while she was giving birth to Inuyasha, blaming it on her being tainted by love for a demon. Toga would show up shortly after and revive Izayoi, allowing her and Inuyasha to escape, while he and Takemaru battled each other to the death. Many people have made the connection that Sesshomaru hated Izayoi, and despite Takemaru killing his father, he also killed Izayoi. This part, and possibly the act of freeing Toga from his human-loving weakness, is something that Sesshomaru might have respected. Something else to keep in mind is that Sesshomaru shares his original dream in this movie, saying that he wants to surpass his father, and Takemaru of Setsuna was the one who killed him, so he may be seen as someone who could surpass him in that way. As a result, he might have named his daughter after that man. That's a theory that I've seen floating around quite a bit, and honestly, I don't like it at all. I do agree that the name probably has a lot to do with this story though. Sesshomaru's character arc began as someone who despised humans because he watched as his father decided to sacrifice his life for the love of someone that Sesshomaru believed to be way below him. Why would anyone love a human? Why would anyone die for one? These questions confused Sesshomaru, and this confusion led to rage and disgust. And again, bringing back Sesshomaru's dream of surpassing and defeating his father, a human also took this from him. In effect, he could never complete his dream because of a human, and in fact a human would beat him to it. However, as the story progresses, Sesshomaru meets Rin, begins protecting her, and eventually learns to see the value of humans, being epitomized when he was in the underworld, and told that if he followed Rin, he would be locked away in the underworld forever with no hope of escaping. Regardless, he followed her without any hesitation, something which left his mother saying that he took after his father in the strangest of ways. By the end of the series, Sesshomaru was no longer hateful of all humans in that same way, and while he definitely valued one to a much higher degree, he could understand why Inuyasha and Toga might be in love with humans, and why they might even sacrifice themselves for one. And Sesshomaru's misunderstanding is going to act as a segue into many fans' misunderstanding. Takemaru is called Takemaru no Setsuna, and people seem to think that this means his name is Takemaru Setsuna, or Setsuna Takemaru, because he's Japanese. But the no in his name is very important, and it means of, which is even more important when you remember that he's a samurai. And throughout most of Japanese history, samurai either didn't have a family name or would choose to give it up in favor of taking up the title of the clan that they worked for, which drastically changes things. Because if Setsuna was the name of the clan that Takemaru was working for, we can probably assume that the mansion belonged to the family with that name, and the only noble that we've seen through this entire interaction is Izayoi, the woman that he loved, and I'm hoping you're following here, because that would mean that Sesshomaru would have named his daughter not after the man who killed Izayoi, but after Izayoi's family itself. To me, I understand this as Sesshomaru taking an opportunity to make up for all the misplaced hatred that he felt. He spent literally hundreds of years hating humans because he could never understand how a great demon might fall in love with a human, and now he could understand those feelings and was feeling them himself. And as a demon who was so filled with pride and never believed it possible for himself to make a mistake, he was likely filled with some kind of shame for the judgment that he placed on his father and his brother. And as such, his daughters' names are likely a reminder of how a being who could live for eternity could love a moment with all of his heart. There you have it, guys. There's my theory and thoughts on the Setsuna's name situation. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Again, I want to thank all of my patrons for supporting the channel, with Jasmine Morales in the Hanyo tier, Lucifina Akuma in the Yokai tier, and Miasma in the Dai Yokai tier. You guys are genuinely so fantastic. But with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, remember to stay excellent.